What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 9 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today we're once again using Resu's team that did really well during the Season 13 ladder and made it all the way to 5th place. One thing that kind of made me a little bit upset about last time was the fact that we didn't really use Urshifu or Spectrier. So hopefully we can fix that today. And so looking at my opponent's first team, I actually really like Urshifu into this match. I think if it can set up, it can do a lot of work, but it's about creating a scenario for that. I also do like Togekiss because of the fact that they have Grimmsnarl for screens, so what? Incin is tempting, but I actually don't think I'm going to bring Incin. I do like Regieleki for speed control. The fear is Landorus, but I think Regieleki, Landorus with Urshifu Togekiss, right? I'm trying to think. Regieleki is, I think, an okay option. Do I even need Regieleki? Incin, their team is very special, so I don't really need that. Yeah, I mean, Spectrier is tempting. I think the only fear I have is the fact that this Spectrier is modest over timid, so I don't really want to risk a speed tie against their Spectrier. So I think this 4 makes the most sense. Yeah, and I am excited to hopefully use the Urshifu. So they're gonna lead Spectrier, Grimmsnarl, and I'm gonna bring out Landorus and Regieleki. So this is good because of the fact that their Grimmsnarl has to pick which screens it values more. Is it gonna go for light screen or is it going to go for reflect? But I feel like it actually could fake out into Regieleki, which I think makes the most sense. But I'm still gonna go for the Electroweb into them, and then do I go for a Max Quake? I'm gonna go for an I'm gonna go for an Airstream into Spectrier. I think I'm still just like really worried about the switch into Landorus from yesterday and like just wasting a turn in my max, that I would much rather go for the safer max Airstream because of the fact that, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to guarantee that I outspeed Spectrier the subsequent turn. The Spectrier could also be support, which I think it is because of the fact that it didn't max. Hopefully, that's really bad. Yeah, so we're gonna miss the Spectrier. We're gonna connect with the Grimmsnarl. They're probably gonna Will-O-Wisp. That's what I'm expecting. Yep, they're gonna Will-O-Wisp into Landorus, which is really unfortunate. We are gonna able to at least get the speed boost. That is gonna put Spectrier really low. It does mean because of the crit. So we're gonna crit through the burn, and now what? I do have Urshifu, so it's kind of fine that they have screens up. I still think Electro Ball is fine given the speed difference between Aleki and Grimmsnarl at this point, and then Max. Let's go for another Airstream into Spectrier. And then what I'm thinking is, Grimmsnarl is going to set up the light screen, and then what I'm hoping is I can bring out Urshifu for the last Airstream and kind of let that get the speed boost, because I think that's going to be really crucial given the fact that it can break through these screens. Okay, so Spectrier is faster than Landorus, but that's fine because we're gonna take down the Spectrier. So now we are up 2-4, but my opponent still has their max, and I have a burned max Landorus with 1 turn left. What is nice is it limits kind of what they can do in terms of setup, and I do have Urshifu with priority. I do have the fact that Regieleki is the fastest thing on the field, And yeah, and they're bringing out Tapu Fini, which is also really good for me. So what's important? What's important here is to. I feel. What? I feel like the protect from Tapu Fini is super obvious, but I don't really care. I'm gonna Thunderbolt into Tapu Fini, and then I can't Rockfall. I have Togekiss and Urshifu, so I can Airstream or Knuckle. I'm just gonna Airstream into their Landorus. My Landorus at this point is basically useless, but what is Urshifu's Urshifu? Okay, so Urshifu has max speed, which is nice because it can. No, that is tricky because of the fact that they can double up into. Yeah, I mean they could double up into Urshifu, but what I'm thinking is they're going to protect Tapu Fini. Yep, and then max Quake with the Landorus to knock out the Regieleki, which is actually the best case scenario. And we're gonna connect with the max Airstream. Yeah, look at that! Look at that great damage output from Landorus at this point. From the -1 attack and the that's bad. That was really smart on their play, because now, that is smart because they're gonna catch up to me in speed. So I think then, I think still bring out Urshifu. I think I need to flinch the Tapu Fini at this point. I need to connect with Rock Slide, and I need to get the flinch to have the Surging Strike knock out the Landorus. So I need, yeah, I think that's what I need to go for. I need to go for a flinch onto the Tapu Fini, so Landorus can't knock out Urshifu. So let's see, we do connect with the Tapu Fini. Yep, they are going to Airstream. Yep, into Urshifu. Urshifu's going to go down to the Sash. And now is the question of, if Tapu Fini doesn't flinch, I think it's game over. Right? Let's see. Tapu Fini is going to not flinch. Yeah, they're going to Moonblast into Urshifu. I mean, yeah, I relied on luck. I don't really see what I can do at this point to come back into the game. They do only have one turn of max, but I mean, yeah, this Landorus is so crippled at this point. I can go for crits. It is Crit Kiss, so there is that. But I think, yeah, I was relying on going for what is it called, for a what am I trying to say? I was going for a flinch. That's what it is. I still think that, and then Rock Slide, because I can at least try and flinch the Fini, and then what they can obviously just go for a max Rockfall. They're still going to Airstream, which is, I think, very interesting. Okay, well, when you look at the damage, it makes sense why. And then, yeah, Tapu Fini is going to just be able to go for the one shot onto Togekiss with, yeah, Moonblast. Moonblast will finish me off. I'm trying to think how this could have played out different. I think I should not have maxed Landorus when I did. I should have just gone for a Rock Slide and relied on Regieleki, because there was the fear that Spectrier was going to have Will-O-Wisp, and I think just so preemptively, I mean, I am faster. I can it's not over. I can hope for a lot of crits and a lot of double flinches. But yeah, I think I should not have. Oh, they're just kidding. They are faster. How are they fast? Oh, because did they go for 2? Interesting. But yeah, I mean, Tapu Fini is recovering. Oh yeah, that's gonna be game. Yeah, I think I should have been a little bit more reserved about what Spectrier was gonna do on this team, because if you look at it, I mean, I think it could have gone either way because this team does have a lot of support options. So a more bulky Spectrier honestly makes a little bit of sense, but also so does an offensive one. Yeah, we do get the miss. Come on, Landorus, just keep flinching. And nice, we got one flinch. We just need to get like 5 crits more and double flinch the whole way before this burn knocks us out. No more missed. How are there still reflect turns up? Has this game really been that short? This is the last turn of reflect. Yeah, I mean, I still think you should always go for it in the rare chance that things work out. But I mean, yeah, they're just gonna beat me to the rock slide, and then they're insult to injury. They're gonna get the flinch I need. Yeah, I think being a little bit more hesitant against the Spectrier could have gone a really long way because of the fact that like I could have gotten. Yeah, I should have scoped to see what kind of Spectrier it was, and I think that like really put me in an awkward position. But I mean, it is what it is, and good to keep in mind. And yeah, I think we should just move on to the next one. All right, game number 2, and it is Shuckle Chansey. Yikes, Shuckle Chansey with Metagross, Jinx, Gudra, and Stakataka. I mean, Urshifu, I feel like Urshifu, Landorus, Incin, and Togekiss. With the idea of like, let's just try and fake stuff out. Let's try and get as much damage as possible. Landorus can boost up. Incin has taunt. And then Togekiss can critical hit, so can Urshifu. I think that makes sense. What do I want to lead with? I like Incin for fake out, and then Urshifu. Let's go with Incin, Urshifu with Togekiss and Landorus in the back, with the idea that if they bring out Blissey, we can just max Incineroar. I mean, not Incineroar. We can max Landorus and go for the max Knuckles into Blissey, and then hopefully, like three of them, like +3 attack, should be enough to take out Blissey in the end. So my opponent is going to lead with Jinx Metagross. Okay. And we're going to have Urshifu and Incin. I think, fake out into... Oh, Jinx is immune to fake out. So this Jinx, is going to try and Lovely Kiss? Oh, I can't even Parting Shot into... Oblivious. Does Oblivious make you immune to fake out? I always forget this. And we're going to desperately try and check my phone because I don't know this game. Cerebi, come on. Come on. Intimidated or taunted. Oh, it's immune to being taunted. So I'm going to fake out into the Jinx, and I'm going to Surging Strikes into the Metagross. Because now the goal is just to try and get as much damage as possible. I'm guessing the Metagross wants to... Quake? Probably Quake. So if we can just get good chip damage onto it, I can bring out Landorus and try and get some good damage that way. We are going to connect with Fake Out, and wow, that's a pretty sizable chunk onto Jinx. Surging Strikes, how much will this... Wow, that's really not doing anything, despite the fact that... Isn't Surging Strike supposed to get stronger with each one? That did about a quarter. Max Quake onto Ensign makes sense. This does... Oh wow, Ensign lives. Which... I don't actually know how much I wanted that. Because now what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid of Jinx lovely kissing into Urshifu. I think so. Then what? Flare Blitz here, and then I mean, Metagross is faster. It honestly makes more sense just to. I might risk proccing the policy, but I'm probably gonna get knocked out, and then Surging Strikes into the Jinx. And I'm hoping that Metagross. I mean, not Metagross. I'm hoping that Landorus will be able to clean up the like basically clean up the game for me. Yeah, because I can't really afford to have Jinx put something to sleep. And so what we're gonna have, oh wow, this is a slow Metagross. And that's at a really sizable chunk too. So I'm actually feeling a lot better now because we did do a sizable chunk to the Metagross. They are gonna Max Quake again into Incineroar, which is great because now I know that this should be within range. I mean, is it within range of... Is it within range of... what is it called? Of Surging Strikes? Okay, so they are going to bring out Shuckle. So that's awkward, because now I'm kind of forced... I am forced to Knuckle, essentially, to guarantee that I can knock out Blissey. But I think Max Quake into the Metagross for the guaranteed knockout, and then Surging Strikes into the Shuckle. So this should be a pretty good... Hopefully, like, I should be able to knock out the Metagross. I would be shocked if I don't. I don't know why I'm so afraid, but I mean, I don't know. Metagross can be very bulky, and the fact that this is so slow makes me a little bit afraid. But I mean, this is also okay. So they are going to endure. So that means that they're not attacking this turn. We are going to connect with the Surging Strikes. Let's see how much this does. This is going to do, yeah, that was actually a pretty decent amount. So this should bring it down to its sash. Oh, it doesn't. And now we're going to have Landorus Max Quake onto the Metagross, which will hopefully take it out. Yeah, Metagross is going to go down. And so what I can do is I can finish off the Blissey. I mean, not the Blissey. I can finish off the Shuckle with one more Surging Strikes and then Max Knuckle into the Blissey. I mean, not the Blissey, the Chansey. And so I can get an attack boost, and then actually I think what makes more sense is to Knuckle into the Shuckle and then Surging Strikes into the Blissey. Because I want to get... Oh. Smart. Okay, so now Blissey is super tanky. Let's connect with... let's see, Surging Strikes does not that much. God, really not that much. This thing is so ridiculous. But we are going to connect with a Max Knuckle, which hopefully should finish off. Yeah, the Shuckle's going to go down. So now we do have Urshifu at +1, as well as Landorus at +1, which still has a turn of Max left. So I think, yeah, you're going to get a Minimize off. I still think the play is to go... Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why they took out the Incineroar. I think another Max Knuckle. Yeah, let's Max Knuckle, and then... that is frustrating that I have such little Surging Strikes left. I'm going to go for a close combat, because Blissey doesn't have Yeah, because now Blissy's going to take... Oh, God. Nothing. Yeah, that is really frustrating. Let's see how much this Knuckle does at +1. This is going to let them freely get a... I'm guessing they're going to go for a soft-boiled. That's what I would think. Yeah, they're going to soft-boiled here. So they are at -1 evasion or +1 evasion. But at the same time, like, I feel like these attacks just are going to do so much. Superpower lowers the attack and defense. Yeah, I gotta go for a superpower, and I gotta go for another close combat. And I think it just depends on how many of my hits connect. And yeah, close combat's gonna miss. Superpower luckily is gonna connect. That's gonna do a sizable chunk. But yeah, that is unfortunate that Landorus is gonna get the attack drop. I think what I want to do is I definitely want to try and just get as much damage as possible while it only has +1 evasion. Urshifu, I need Urshifu to hit. How is it so +1 evasion? Togekiss does have Helping Hand, so I'm gonna actually... What is Landorus at? Landorus should be at +1. Landorus is at +1. I think still go for a superpower and go for a close combat. Because then what I'm thinking is I can Helping Hand the Urshifu. And the +2, let's see how much this does. This does... Landorus is not going to be enough to one-shot it. But the Chansey should only have one attack. Superpower is going to miss. They're gonna get a second minimize off. I think I just have to keep going for an attack at this point because they're so low. Yeah, I need Urshifu to connect with this close combat. Yes, this is gonna connect, and we are gonna take out the Chansey. Thank goodness. Yeah, that was really scary. Like, even though it was just Chansey, they did manage to get off the defense boost, and then it just like became a game of can I hit it before it like basically stalled out the time. But even then, like, I still had Togekiss in the back, so I think I was in a good enough position where I really could have set up effectively. And then I think with Helping Hand, I would have just needed to connect with one hit, and that kind of helped me out. But Urshifu really coming in clutch with the huge amount of pressure with close combat, and the fact that it really could take advantage of those attack boosts and just like put a lot of pressure onto my opponent. So glad I was able to show it off. Let's do one or two more, let's see, and hopefully we can bring Spectrier to the next one. All right, battle number 3, and it is a Nihilego with Galarian Moltres, a Mamoswine, Whimsicott, Cinderace, and Spectrier. So this is a really hyper offensive team on my opponent's part. But what am I thinking? I do actually like Incineroar Regieleki with the idea of let's just try and slow everything down with an Electro Web. So we can fake out the Whimsicott and then use Regieleki to get the speeds down. Then the question of what else? Urshifu is great because of the fact that it deals with Nihilego really well, it deals with Cinderace really well, and it deals with Mamoswine. So because it's super effective into all of those, I'm going to bring that. Now the question is, what is the last one? Landorus is tempting because of a lot of different reasons. It does have Intimidate, which deals with Cinderace. It has super effective coverage into a lot of these. Togekiss also does, but it worries about ice. Landorus also worries about Mamoswine, but I think this is a good option. Spectrier was just really hard to bring this game because of the fact that they have a Moltres and they have a Whimsicott. So I thought that there wasn't really a good. I mean, I think there was a good argument for Spectrier, but it would have depended on how much I can deal with the what is it called, with the Moltres. Okay, so they're gonna lead with a Cinderace and Whimsicott. So I still think the plan is to fake out. This is so tempting though, because yeah, this is what makes it hard, is that even if I Electro Web, they can just Tailwind the next turn. So I have to. So all I'm really doing is stalling the inevitable, but I am getting pressure on the Cinderace, where now there kind of feels like a need to switch, because it's going to be at what, -1 speed and -1 attack. But they're okay, so they're just going to straight max, and I think that's fine. I don't think they have enough pressure with Cinderace though. That's the thing, because I have Landorus in the back, so I'm not really worried about the damage output from that Cinderace. So we are going to connect with a fake out. An eject button would be great. Which, yep, nice. Okay, that's great. They're going to eject out. So that means that I have a little bit of time before they can set up Tailwind. And I'm hoping to do enough damage before that really becomes an issue. So they're going to bring out Mamoswine. Mamoswine is obviously immune to what's it called? Immune to the electric. They're gonna knuckle into what's it called? Into Incineroar, which I think is a good call. It does mean that another will take me out. So now what I'm thinking actually is, what? I actually want to double switch, because then if I can bring out Urshifu and Landorus, I think that puts me in a really good position. So I'm going to just try and I think just go for a Thunder Wave, and then go for. I'm gonna Parting Shot into Mamoswine, because I think Incin still does serve a purpose if I can keep it alive. And yeah, let's just try and get as much damage onto Cinderace as possible. They're going to connect with Icicle Crash. Icicle Crash is going to take out the Regieleki, which is great. They're going to Airstream. Okay, they're going to Airstream back to neutral, which is that's actually really bad, because now Cinderace is at neutral. Or no, not Cinderace. Yeah, Cinderace is at neutral, and Mamoswine is at +1, which means, that slot most likely goes to. Well, Mamoswine can't max, so what I can do is I can bring out Urshifu. I could bring out Landorus. I could bring out Landorus to Airstream into. Yeah. This is actually arguably a bad play. So we can fake out into the Mamoswine, and what I'm hoping then is, nope, not Urshifu. That would have been a huge mistake. Yeah, we can fake out the Mamoswine. We can get off the Airstream into the Cinderace and create basically a scenario where Urshifu with Landorus can clean up, because I know they have Whimsicott as one of their Pokemon in the back, and now what I can basically do is, yeah, they have Whimsicott in the back, which isn't really going to do much, and then I don't know what their last is, but now what'll happen is, no, that's unfortunate, because now what they can. Yeah, because what they can do is they can just bring out Whimsicott, Tailwind. They can just Tailwind, and then Mamoswine will outspeed Landorus, and they can Icicle Crash into Landorus. and then I think it comes down to a damage calc. But I mean, Urshifu is incredibly powerful on its own. Very smart protect there. How bulky is this Landorus? Where is Landorus's damage? Or what did they go for? I wasn't paying attention. They're going for a Knuckle onto Incin. Oh yeah, ugh. Yeah, that Mamoswine is just so... It's at +2 at this point. And yeah, it's a +2 × 4 attack. Yeah, Mamoswine's at +1. It's definitely going to outspeed. I don't have Protect on this because this is Assault Vest. I do have a lot of HP and a decent amount of defense. So I'm hoping... I mean, I need to live an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine if I want to win this game. And they're going to rightly bring out Whimsicott to go for the Tailwind. This does mean that Urshifu should be able to Surging Strikes for the clear KO onto the Mamoswine. And now what? I would need my opponent to either misplay or they would need to miss the Icicle Crash. And I don't really like relying on that, but there's no way Landorus can take an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine at +2. Like I don't see it, but that does let Urshifu be in a pretty okay slot. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, if there were ever... Yep, there's the Tailwind. Here is going to come the Icicle Crash. Yep, Icicle Crash onto Landorus. And do I live? Oh, onto Urshifu. What? Wild. Okay, so they are... Why would they go for that onto Urshifu? Can Icicle Crash flinch? That's weird. So Mamoswine, yeah, will definitely go down to a Surging Strikes, and then we do have Landorus and Urshifu versus whatever they have in the back, which... I mean, what? If they have Moltres? If they have Moltres, I think it is doable. They do, yep, okay, so they do have Moltres. I think still go for a Surging Strikes onto Moltres, and then probably a Rockfall. Do I want to go for a Rockfall? I'm tempted to go for an Airstream, because they have a Tailwind up. Yeah, I'm going to go for an Airstream in the event that their Weakness Policy. They're going to Air Slash into Urshifu. This should definitely... Yep, Urshifu's going to go down. And now I'm going to get some chip with... I'm going to get chip with Airstream. Let's see how much it does. Okay, well, that's a lot of chip. And now, at this point, a Superpower should finish it off. And this will guarantee that I'm faster because this is a +3 Landorus. But yeah, I think I was just really afraid of Rockfall. What I was afraid of is Rockfall not KOing, and then my opponent getting a Weakness Policy boost and being able to kind of be faster than my Landorus and finish it off the subsequent turn with Fiery Wrath. So I was trying to account for that. But yeah, Superpower 100% accurate. They're so low that it'll finish it off. Great. Nice. Awesome. Cool. So doing great with this team so far. But like I said, we haven't played a game with Spectrier yet. Does my opponent have their team available? No. Okay. Yeah, let's try and do one more, because I love Spectrier and I'm bummed that we haven't played with it yet. So hope for this next one, and yeah, I'll see all of you there. All right, last game of the day, and it is Torkoal with Lilligant, Urshifu, Salamence, Comfy, and Torkoal. So probably chlorophyll on the Lilligant. Urshifu is great, so is Togekiss. I really don't want to bring Spectrier this game. Ensign, I like Ensign a lot. I think Ensign Torkoal, I mean, not Ensign Torkoal, Ensign Lando is such a strong lead into what my opponent has. There is the argument for Ensign Aleki, but the fear though is if they lead with their Aleki and we lose the speed tie, which we will because this isn't max speed Aleki. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Regieleki, I think Landorus, and then Togekiss. Yeah, let's do that. Do I want Urshifu? No, I'd much rather have this 4 right here. I think what is Ensign Aleki is fine because I do have Landorus in the back, so that makes me think they would be a little bit hesitant to lead with Aleki, and they're gonna lead with probably Salaman's Comfy. So I'm guessing weakness policy on the Comfy. I mean, not on the Comfy. Yes, on the Comfy. On the Salamence to try and trigger the proc with Comfy, and then max from there. They could Earthquake. I think either way though, Taunt is tempting. I'm gonna taunt the Comfy because of the fact that Triage makes it go before my Fake Out, unless 84 speed. I don't actually know Comfy's base speed. And then I'm gonna go for an Electro Web, just trying to slow that Salamence down, because what I'm thinking is slow down Salamence, yeah, and then what that can do is that lets me bring out the Landorus, and Landorus should, using a combination of the maxing, I feel like, yeah, max Salamence or max Landorus should be able to knock out Salamence. And so let's see, we do, yep, there's gonna be the policy. Wow, that did a sizable chunk, and especially if I can get off Ensign going for the taunt to stop Comfy from healing Salamence next turn, that's a really good position to be in. They're gonna Geyser. This could be special. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm thinking it's special Salamence. Yeah, it has to be. I mean, they're Moxie, though. No, they're Intimidate. I could go for Togekiss. Yeah, I think late game Max is a solid option, and given how much, what's it called? Draining Kiss did, I actually feel really good about Dazzling Gleam, and I could do Electro Ball. Thunderbolt. Yeah, because if Comfy heals Salamence back up to full, I think a combination of Thunderbolt and hopefully critical hit Dazzling Gleam should take it out. I am potentially backing myself into a corner and having to use late game Landorus to really try and win a pretty unfavorable matchup. Oh, very smart. Very smart ally switch. Comfy is just so versatile, but that does mean that we can hopefully we can pick up the knockout with, their Berry. So, yep, they triggered the Citrus Berry. Let's see how much this does. Not as much as I would have liked. It does get a critical hit onto Comfy, but that doesn't matter. They're gonna airstream into Aleki, so they're back to neutral. I think knowing they have ally switch, I don't want to have Landorus go for a rock slide. I mean, go for a max, because yeah, I can't really afford to get that wrong. I mean, I could what rock slide, and I think Dazzling Gleam. I can't go for a Quake. I'm gonna go for an Airstream onto the Salamence slot because we do need speed. I think they can go for an ally switch, but what I'm trying to do at this point is I'm trying to keep Landorus alive, and then I'm trying to set up to hopefully like use the amount of offensive pressure from Crit Kiss and Landorus to finish off my opponents, where I can boost speed and just do a ton of damage. But okay, so they're gonna floral healing onto the Salamence, which I think is a good play. That is gonna potentially let them survive another hit. They are going to geyser into me, which hopefully I should live. 6 HP is enough to live. Togekiss is going to connect with the Dazzling Gleam. That's okay. That's great because that picks up the knockout onto Comfy. So Comfy does not have priority, but that is unfortunate because there's no target for Airstream, which means that Landorus doesn't get a speed boost, and that's actually really that is the one time I did not want Crit Kiss to crit, because now I don't have a speed boost, and yep, here comes Urshifu. Urshifu can, oh yeah, Regieleki and Urshifu. Dazzling Gleam. I'm gonna go for the Airstream onto Urshifu. I don't think it's totally, yeah, Thunderbolt. Let's see how much this does. Oh wow. Yikes. Yeah, I think if we had gotten the speed boost would have actually made a huge difference, because then I could have protected. I would have outsped the Urshifu. So what that would have let me do is protect with Togekiss and go for an Airstream into Urshifu, proc the Sash of Urshifu, lose Landorus, and then I would have tried to just get a Dazzling Gleam knockout. So Charcoal, Wide Lens, yeah, Focus Sash on the Urshifu, Weakness Policy, and yeah, it was special Salamence, Triage, Ally Switch. Oh, Aromatherapy, interesting. Probably for Thunderwave. Transistor with Magnet. Not max speed. Oh, it is max speed. I thought. Oh, but it's modest. It's not timid. So yeah, if Salamence had lived, I could have Airstream. I could have gotten the Airstream off to been at +1 speed. Togekiss could have protected, which would have let me go for Airstream into Urshifu, which would have brought Urshifu down to its Sash, and then I could have tried to knock out Regieleki with Togekiss. Interesting that they caught it timid, but they made it modest. But yeah, we still haven't played with Spectrier, so I'm gonna play this. I'll play this team next time, and hopefully we can finally use Spectrier. But yeah, until next time, I hope all of you stay wonderful, and I'll see you then.